How Orúnmila revealed the way to protect oneself from death. It was Oyekun Meyi who revealed how Orúnmila taught humanity the way to protect itself from premature death. When man was created, Iku, death, considered the new creature as his preferred food. Thus, Iku was the only divinity that rejoiced when Olódùmarè created man. While other divinities saw humans as inferior beings created to serve them, Iku considered them as a source of nourishment. Nevertheless, he waited for humanity to multiply, and after this, he freely roamed their dwellings, choosing them at will as food. Lacking the means of self-defense, not to mention any form of resistance, man resigned himself to Iku, enduring his relentless attacks. Humans had no one to appeal to, as the logic was simple. Just as they considered animals inferior and used them as food, Iku saw humans as mere flesh to be consumed. As long as we understand the triumphant philosophy of existence of plants and animals, which were created to serve a purpose within the planetary system, we should not be unduly disturbed by the inevitability of Iku. Just as we use plants and lesser animals to satisfy our habits and preferences, in the same way, we are at the mercy of the more powerful divinities. Having been assigned a role within the planetary system, which includes being a source of nourishment for higher powers, Olódùmarè has granted us intellect so that we may defend ourselves as best we can, whether through appeasement or diversion. This is clearly illustrated in the following revelation of Oyekun Meyi. Uko yue iruko yu eku mej larwe eja mej ayoka lere ololo. Adio ideregbe aba murede agbu ahaka eli laba odu meta ako elila to antasukare. Iku rejoiced at the creation of men. He stole humans at will to consume them. 2 rats were playing on the earth. 2 fish were playing in the water. The hen had laid her eggs and gone to rest. The goat had birthed many offspring. The strong ram, 3 years old. The bull, endowed with juicy flesh. All were created to appease Iku. Yet this assembly of animals neither appeased nor satisfied Iku, for Iku continues to focus his gaze upon human flesh. When man eventually approached Orúnmila, seeking divination on how to stop the threat of Iku, he told them that no sacrifice could divert Iku's attention away from humans. Their flesh was the only thing that could satisfy his divine appetite. All others, rats, fish, birds, goats, rams, and even cows, were the preferred food of the priests of the divinities. He asked them if there was anything that could stop them from eating their favorite foods. However, he told them that the best way to protect oneself from an evil divinity was by offering a sacrifice with what that divinity forbade. Orúnmila, in his role as Èlérí Ùkpin, the witness of Olódùmarè in creation, was the only one who knew what each of the other divinities forbade. He then advised them to prepare pounded or mashed yams, obobo in Benin and ewo or elo in Yoruba, to which small pebbles should be added. They were also advised to find a small live chicken. They gathered the materials, and all the men assembled in the conference hall, where Iku used to choose them one by one. Orúnmila advised them to eat the mashed yam, but to discard the pebbles. They were also instructed to tie the live chicken at the entrance of Esu's house, without killing it. When Iku approached the conference chamber to strike another attack, he found the pebbles that the men had discarded from their food. Upon placing the pebbles in his mouth to taste what they had been eating, he was unable to chew them. Then he thought that those who were capable of eating such hard objects must be terrifying creatures, capable of fighting back if provoked too much. While Iku was contemplating his next move, the chicken tied at the entrance of Esu's house began to cry out, "Uku ye!" Upon hearing the cry of the chicken, Iku fled in terror, for he was forbidden from hearing the sound of a chicken. From that moment, Iku left men alone, and they rejoiced, giving thanks to Orúnmila for revealing his secret to them. It was from that day that Iku devised other ways to reach man, through third parties. From that moment on, Iku could no longer kill man directly because, in reality, he is a cowardly divinity. Instead, he has relied on his more aggressive and vengeful siblings, such as Laogun, the divinity of iron, who kills through fatal accidents, Sango, the divinity of thunder, who kills through lightning, Sanpona, Azohuano or San Lazaro, who kills through epidemics such as smallpox, chickenpox, and measles. The divinity of the night, who kills through witchcraft, etc. When these deadly divinities are slow in finding food for Iku, the king of death sends his wife, Aran, disease, to fetch food for the family. Therefore, when Oyekun Meyi appears during divination, the person may be warned that Iku is lurking, but they must offer a sacrifice to Isu with mashed yams mixed with salt and palm oil, all loaded with pebbles. If Oyekun Meyi appears for a newborn child, the parents must perform sacrifices like those of Jo, rain, before coming to the world so the child can rise above the powerful enemies they are destined to face. This type of sacrifice requires special incantations that can only be performed by adepts of Ifa.